This is Robert Kraft, and I'm coming to you live on SNNLive, and we're at the 8th Annual Precious Metals Summit here in Beaver Creek, Colorado. With me right now is Lawrence Page from Southern Silver Exploration Corp. It's a publicly traded company. I got two symbols for you, SSV on the TSX Venture and SSVFF in the U.S. Lawrence, welcome back to SNNLive.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to see you once a year.
Same for us as well. So for our audience that may have missed our first interview, let's get an overview of the company and then we'll go from there.
Thanks. We're a Vancouver-based company, Southern Silver Exploration Corporation, and you've talked about the listing. Principal property is in Durango, Mexico. We've been down there roughly 10 years. We're well on our way to developing a polymetallic silver-lead-zinc property, which will become a mine in the near future, we expect, all things being equal.
So, you know, as you said, it's been about a year since we last saw you and had you on the program. So, you know, during that time, let's get some highlights as to what's been going on in the company since 2017.
I think I can go back a little further than that. You know, as a small company, it's difficult to raise money, especially in these times. We bought the property for $4 million US. Initially, we had help from Freeport that farmed into the property. They put $5 million into the deal. And then when they left Mexico, they gave us back the property in its advanced state. And shortly after that, the Electrum Group out of New York became our partners. They own 37% of our issued capital, and they've earned into a 60% working interest in the property by advancing $5 million to us, which we've spent in the ground. So we're now a 60-40 joint venture. We're the operators, and we're advancing the property quite markedly, in my view.
So I'm a little curious more about the district itself. You know, we've interviewed a number of companies on here that have mining operations in Mexico. You know, what about your property in this mining district makes what you guys are doing unique?
Well, we started the company, about 10 years ago after we'd had a win with Western Silver. And I was a founder and a principal of Western Silver, which found Penasquito in Zacatecas, which is now Goldcorp's mine. Shareholders had a $1.2 billion payday, so the stock chart did the right thing. We thought we'd try to emulate that using the same people, the same infrastructure in Mexico. I think we're well on our way. We found the right property. We have very competent people who are good geologists, good explorers. We have some expertise in raising risk capital. And so we've advanced the property so it has a resource of 208 million silver equivalent ounces. At this time, it's silver-lead-zinc. We're in the process of drilling 11,000 meters, which we'll finish by the end of 2018. We expect that we will have increased the resource estimate by approximately a third. I whipped the geologists to say more, and they say, well, it will be, but we're getting good results. And so we've got 2 rigs running, and we're moving forward, and we're very pleased.
So you actually started to hit on my next question, and maybe you can expound a little bit more on this. And from what you can tell me, what are some of the company's value catalysts moving forward? You mentioned that you're doing more drilling going into the end of 2018. So is there anything else that maybe our audience should be aware of that's coming up for the company?
Well, I'm sure a lot of people that you interview talk about de-risking a project. When you go into a project and you're drilling under the ground, you don't know what you're going to get, but you use as much science as you can. You use the geophysics, and the drill stem tells you what you have ultimately. But de-risking it is, you have to be very, very cognizant of the people who live there. The social license, as they now call it, to explore in their property, and we're very aware of that. We office in a small town called Guadalupe, Victoria. It's 6,000 approximately population. From there, it's a 10-minute drive to the property, and the property's on an autopista. So it's not helicopter assist or anything like that. You can be there throughout the entire year. The ejidos, which have the right to use the surface of the land, have signed agreements with us. 2 of them have signed 25-year agreements. Some of them on some of the property, which is in the early stages, is 5-year agreements. But we've done that. We've met with the governor. We've met with the Minister of Economic Affairs, and we keep them apprised of what we're doing. And so we have a social license. That's one thing. The other thing is metallurgy. It's all very well to say you've got X and Y of a product, but can you sell it? So we've been spending with third-party people testing to see whether or not that's so. And we just put out a news release, which is very positive. It's very, very heartening, actually, to see that you have a saleable product. So you tick all of those things off. And now we're on our way to adding tonnage and grade. At the end of the year, we'll be in a position to hand all of that to a third-party expert, and he'll tell us what our resource is at that time. So we're de-risking it. I think we're getting closer. We're getting the attention of people bigger than us who want to come and look, and we're always happy to talk with our colleagues. And so all the building blocks are coming together to make this a viable project.
And where can our audience go and find more information about Southern Silver?
Well, we have a website, and it's easy. Just look up Southern Silver. We're followed by fundamental research, people of that nature, and just go to your computer, hit SSV or Southern Silver, and you'll get all the links to follow us, and of course your program.
Great. And what is that website, by the way?
Well, Southern Silver Explorations.com. Yes.
My name is Robert Kraft, and I'm coming to you live on SNNLive, and we're at the 8th Annual Precious Metals Summit here in Beaver Creek, Colorado. With me again has been Lawrence Page from Southern Silver Exploration Corp. It's a publicly traded company. I got 2 symbols for you, SSV on the TSX Venture and SSVFF in the U.S. Lawrence, thank you again for joining us today.
Pleasure indeed.